You think you know how much it costs to produce your product. Well, let me tell you, if you're not using activity-based costing, or ABC, you might be in for a rude awakening. Traditional costing methods often assign costs based on production volume, which sounds straightforward, right? But here's the kicker: that approach can lead to some serious inaccuracies. Imagine this: you've got a low volume product that requires a ton of resources and time, yet it's priced as if it's just another item rolling off the assembly line. Meanwhile, your high volume products might be underpriced, leaving money on the table. This is where activity based costing steps in to save the day. ABC assigns costs based on the actual activities required to produce each product or service. It's about recognizing that not all products are created equal. For instance, in manufacturing, you might have a mass-produced item that requires minimal engineering time compared to a custom product that demands extensive design and oversight. Traditional costing would lump these together, leading to skewed pricing and profit margins. But with ABC, you can see the true cost of each product based on the activities that drive those costs. High activity requirements mean higher costs, and low activity requirements mean lower costs. Simple, right? Now, you might be thinking, why should I care? Well, if you're in a manufacturing business or even a service industry, understanding your costs accurately can be the difference between profit and loss. Implementing ABC can be complex and time-consuming, but the benefits are worth it. Accurate cost allocation leads to better pricing strategies, which ultimately boosts profits. It's like having a map in a maze. Without it, you might wander around aimlessly, but with it, you can navigate your way to success. Let's break down how ABC works. It all starts with identifying your indirect costs, those expenses that aren't directly tied to production, like utilities, marketing, and salaries of support staff. ABC allocates these costs based on the actual activities that consume resources. For example, imagine a company like AB, a Swiss-Swedish power firm. They implemented an ABC program that dissected their purchasing operations into activities like negotiating with suppliers, updating databases, and issuing purchase orders. This level of detail helps pinpoint where costs are incurred and how they relate to the products being produced. But here's the catch: implementing ABC isn't as easy as flipping a switch. It requires a deep dive into your operations, breaking everything down into its components. Larger companies often bring in consultants to help with this process because the data needed for a BC isn't always readily available. It can be a massive undertaking, but once it's in place, it provides invaluable insights. Now, let's talk about the evolution of a BC. Back in the 1980s, many companies were frustrated with traditional costing methods, and that's when ABC began gaining traction. However, it faced some challenges in the 1990s as companies struggled to put the theory into practice. Even Robert Kaplan, one of the founders of the BC, acknowledged that many organizations were reluctant to abandon their old ways of managing costs. Fast forward to 2007, and Kaplan introduced a new concept called time-driven activity-based costing, or TDABC. This approach simplifies ABC by linking costs to the time required for each activity, making it more accessible for businesses to implement. So, what exactly are the key components of a BC? First, you have the cost pool, which is essentially any item for which you need accurate cost measurement, like a product or service. Then there are cost drivers, which are the factors that cause costs to change. These can be broken down into resource cost drivers, which measure the total resources needed for an activity, and activity cost drivers, which assess the demand placed on activities by cost pools. The ABC system is a two-stage process. First, you identify activities and assign costs to those activities. Then you link those costs to the products or services based on their actual consumption of those activities. It's a more sophisticated method of costing that offers a clearer picture of how resources are utilized. Now, let's dive into the differences between traditional costing and ABC. Traditional methods assign costs based on single unit characteristics, like direct labor hours or material costs. But ABC flips that on its head by focusing on the activities necessary to produce each product or service. This means you can accurately associate overhead costs with the actual resources consumed, leading to better decision making and improved profitability. You might be wondering why this matters. Well, consider the pressures of today's market. Companies face fierce competition, and the need for precise product costing is more critical than ever. If you're diversifying your product line or personalizing your offerings, traditional costing simply won't cut it. ABC provides the insights needed to navigate these complexities. But let's not sugarcoat it: ABC has its challenges. Implementing this system can be time-consuming and costly, particularly for smaller businesses. Gathering and analyzing data takes effort, and sometimes the necessary information isn't easily accessible through standard accounting reports. Plus, ABC reports often don't align with generally accepted accounting principles, which can create confusion for external reporting. Despite these challenges, the benefits of a BC are significant. It offers accurate estimates of production costs, helps identify inefficiencies, and provides a clearer picture of how overhead costs are allocated. Imagine being able to pinpoint exactly where your money is going and which processes are draining your resources. That's the power of a BC. Let's illustrate this with an example. Take a hypothetical company, Hasty Rabbit Corporation, which produces two types of sneakers, Swifty Feet and Blazing Hair. Swifty Feet has a production volume of 19,000 pairs, while Blazing Hair produces 11,000 pairs. Using traditional costing, the overhead costs are allocated evenly based on volume. But when ABC is applied, the company discovers that Blazing Hair requires more supervision and resources, leading to higher costs. As a result, the production costs per pair are adjusted, providing a more accurate reflection of profitability. This kind of insight is invaluable. With ABC, you can make informed decisions about pricing, production schedules, and even marketing strategies. It allows you to see where you can cut costs or invest more resources to maximize profits. In conclusion, activity-based costing is a powerful tool that can transform how businesses understand their costs. It's not just a method for accountants, it's a strategic approach that can drive profitability and efficiency across the board. If you're serious about your business and want to stay competitive in today's market, embracing ABC could be your ticket to success. Don't let outdated costing methods hold you back. Dive into the world of activity-based costing and uncover the true costs of your operations. It might just change the game for you.